So this so this episode, we're talking about what is the church's role and is it doing enough in speaking out against what is going on in America's culture and America's society.
Mhm.
Specifically in my mind, I'm thinking about, like transgenderism, gender affirming care, abortion, the destruction of the nuclear family, and there's like a whole long list, but I would say those are like my top four.
Mhm.
So just first off, Anna, if you could just speak to how do you think America reached this point?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I'm honestly excited to dive into each and every topic you brought up, as abortion and also gender affirming care. It's not just happening with adults or college age students because they technically are adults. But in my mind, I think that our society has written the ways of which someone comes out of the house, right? At 18. I think that's a little too young. But that's just my opinion. But to tie back to the question you asked, I think it's interesting to look at the history of America and really what the founding fathers say about where and what America was based off of. And I want to quote something the Supreme Court said in 1892. It said, "This is a Christian nation." They put it in writing. And I think that that's such a standard that really we say that, right? We say a nation under God in our Pledge of Allegiance, or
Mhm.
we, and I don't think this happens in public school anymore, but when I was in elementary, we would pray, right? We would pray before we started the day, but things, of course, have changed now. But I wanted to read a few of our founding fathers, what they said about God and what they said about Christian values. So, John Quincy Adams stated that the highest glory of the American Revolution was this: it connected one bond of principles of civil government with the principles of Christianity. And I think that's a really good tie to, not only is it a way that we can be connected, like he said, a
Mhm.
bond. I think back to, we just celebrated, or we just remembered, sorry, we just remembered 9/11. And I just think of how people were so connected after that. I hear so many stories from family members that they were like, we have never experienced a revival like that, where someone came in and they um, tore down everything that we knew to be true, right? A terrorist
Mhm.
attack. And so many people died from that. But then also, we just see God's sovereignty and God's evidence in that, where people came together and they finally figured out, like, hey, God still exists. He's still not just a being in the sky that um, just kind of hovers over. He actually has a plan for our lives. So I think that's just interesting. Also, really quickly, Patrick Henry said that it is when people forget God that tyrants forge their change. And I think that's really interesting. Like we're talking about, I know we're connecting the church to this, but then also
Mhm.
um, it's talking about our governmental system. Well, I think it's interesting that we are really focused on the queen passing, and we're forgetting the fact that they're monarchist. Like, we have to stay true to our governmental system, and just remember that, like, yes, we're a democracy, and at the same time, that's the reason why we're free. We're free
Mhm.
because people decided to come over and fight for their beliefs, not just beliefs in here and there. It was a belief in God.
Hi, I'm Brian Kletter, the creator and host of the Counterthought podcast. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to like it, and then also check out these two videos and subscribe to the channel. For more daily content from me, you can find me on Instagram at Counterthought CEO and the official Counterthought Instagram page at counter_thought. Thank you for watching and spread the word.